So welcome back. Just to remind you, the depth of water is 1.9 at the starting end, or the finishing end, 1.8 at the turning end. And your starting blocks are 70 centimetres above the water level. So make sure you've got a safe, competitive dive. Any questions, any doubts, feel free to tell the referee and start in the water. Make sure, especially if you're in the spectator gallery, you know where your closest emergency exit is. Glance over your shoulder. You've got 4 doors here. One you've got to fight your way through past Julian, but apart from that, you'll be okay. Poolside swimmers, you've got 4 or 5 down there as well, so check out your closest exit. Make sure it's not blocked by bodies or bags or any other belongings, and if it is necessary to evacuate the building, you'll hear a whole pile of alarms and public address announcements, so please follow those instructions and any other additional information given by pool staff. So swim well. First event, I believe, is the event 7, which should be the 200 meters freestyle. Looks like we've got lots of heats. 13 heats, that's lucky. Then there's a mixed 200 IM, then the 100 backstroke. So we'll keep you up to date with that. But 13 heats of 200 freestyle to begin. So heat 1 swimmers, we'd love to see you towards the starting blocks now. And just a special mention for our Downs syndrome swimmers, and wish them all very good luck. We've got a World Championships for Downs swimming in Turkey in March, and these guys that are in the water at the moment are looking to get their qualifying times improved for that World Championship, so we wish them all very good luck, and it'd be great to see you guys giving them some support as well. Any questions? Oh, there's team managers and coaches down on the shallow end by the fun pool. If you need any questions answered, go and speak to the guys down there, and they'll be happy to answer any queries you might have. So good luck in Turkey. Only a couple of months away.
This is a test start.
Here we are, event 7, the 200 freestyle, heat 1, should have 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your break. Away we go. Session number 2 of 4 this weekend. Our Saturday afternoon is up and away. Heat number 1 of event 7 officially in our books, as Ian's told you. The mixed 200 free, 13 heats in total. From lane 1, heat 1, King's Cormorant, Jane Asher. In 2, Medway Maritime, Paul Webster. In 3, Highs, Graham Ling. In 4, Erithon Districts, Dennis Vick. City of Manchester Aquatics, Dan Daly in 5. In 6, Mid Sussex, Rose Dudeny. In 7, Southern Oaks, Shelley Robinson. And in 8, Lewis's Trixie Nisbet. In lane 1, many of you will know Jane Asher, multiple British and world record holder in multiple age groups as she's progressed through her swimming career and still going strong. 93 this year. Now we have 2 up top. First of all, in 5, Dan Daly. He's representing the City of Manchester Aquatics, 29-year-old. And, well, I was going to say, in lane 8, first of all, Trixie Nisbet. But also in the blue cap in 6, that is Rose Dudeny, our mid-Sussex swimmer. There are 64 years between our youngest and oldest competitors in heat number 1. Don't you just love masters swimming? And Jane Asher's been competing for all 64 of those as well. Back they come then. Still 5, 6 and 8, but the latter moving on. Trixie Nisbet. She will go finger to finger or toe to toe into the wall with Dudeny in 6. Early leader Dan Daly just falling back in the second 100. And it is Trixie Nisbet that takes it by less than 1 second over Rose Dudeny. Then Dan Daly, who's going to win the race for the rest of them. Shelley Robinson just 3:49. Dennis Vick and Graham Ling separated by a few tenths of a second. Paul Webster just outside 4 minutes. And then we'll give a very warm welcome into the timing board for Jane Asher, King's Cormorant swimmer. Again, she still holds multiple British, European, world records in multiple age categories. They haven't been beaten, and she continues to compete. And look at that, massive smile. Well done, Jane. Very happy.
Heat number 2 should have 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks. Stand down. Just gonna do a test start. Test start. Take your marks.
Oh, we get away at the second attempt. You are watching in lane 1, Crawley's Sheena Bassett. In 2, Winchester's Caitlin Hatfield. In 3, Kingston Royals, Connor Macaulay-Conway. Spencer's Hannah Uckerman in 4. Camden Swiss Cottage, James Nagot in 5. Dover Lifeguards, Roger starting in lane 6. King's Cormorant again in 7, this time Amanda Doyle. And in lane 8, Lewis Tiggy Wood. As always, we will start to chip away at the fastest heat times. And there are 13, so it's a lot of chipping to do over the next half an hour or so. And at the conclusion of the 200 free, we have the mixed 200 IM. So in total, 9 plus 13 is 22. That's how many 200-meter freestyles we've got back to back. Leader through 100, James Nagot. James's second dip in the water this session, after just an ever so slightly faulty starting gun. He jumped in. I think it was along with Hannah Uckerman. But of course, not their fault, and they restart. And it's not affecting his performance whatsoever. In fact, they are 1 and 2 with Tiggy Wood. And in 6, Roger starting. And the leaderboard at 200 metres will match that as of 100. James Nagot will not be caught. Although Uckerman had a really good go. In the end, just 2 seconds between them. One man under 3 minutes though, at 2:58.82. Tiggy Wood brings in 3rd place, Roger Start in 4th, Caitlin Hatfield in 5th. Amanda Doyle. Then we'll have Connor Macaulay-Conway for Kingston Roy, youngest man in the pool at 22. And Sheena Bassett, representing home club Crawley. We'll close out our second heat, 3:41.
So swimmers, hold on the lane rope. Heat number 3 should have 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
Okay, we're on a roll now, aren't we? Heat number 3. South Downs Trojan, Sarah Jones in 1. Medway Maritime, Nicholas Crew in 2. Croydon Amphibians, Marianne Rook-Alden in 3. Dover Lifeguards, Eleanor Matthews in 4. Hooray! Basingstokes, Steve Greenfield in 5. Royal Tunbridge Wells, Del Jenkins in 6. Wickham District's Kate King in 7. And Faversham's Paul Reynolds in lane number 8. Is that last name read? Paul Reynolds up front with Steve Greenfield. And in 3, Marianne Rook-Alden. And as always, as the heats go through, the times quicken up, the pack tightens as well. In the seeding, the gap between the fastest and the slowest in each heat will get smaller and smaller. And then down to very fine margins by the time we get to the likes of heats 11, 12 and 13. As you were in 5, Steve Greenfield continues to lead. He's pulled away just by a touch over Paul Reynolds and a bit more over Rook-Alden in 3. And it'll be a new fastest time through 3 heats. 2:48.5 for Greenfield, 1.8 seconds back to Reynolds, and plenty more times under 3 minutes. Eleanor Matthews, Marianne Rook-Alden. Kate King just missing out, 3:02.9. And Nicholas Crew will bring it up.
Should be heat number 4, I believe. 8 swimmers, referee.
Take your marks.
Heat 4 in the pool. From Hastings in 1, Laura Key. Farnham's Judith Wiley's in 2. Spencer's Suzanne Maidment in 3. Chichester's Paul Bryce in 4. City of Southampton's Timothy O'Brien in 5. Deeping's Chris Orchard in 6. Erith and District's Jenny Vick in 7. And Godalming's Tony Palmer in lane number 8. Tony Palmer having a pretty good time in lane number 8. Leader at halfway, leader with 50 to swim. Chris Orchard and Suzanne Maidment a few seconds back, but a few seconds is a big old gap with just one length of the pool to complete. Coming through nicely in 5, Timothy O'Brien, looking to join the race for second, if not third. I've barely seen him take a breath in those opening few meters of 50. Now he's taking in the oxygen, but none of them is going to catch your leader, Tony Palmer. Going to be a 2 minutes and 46.91 for Palmer. And O'Brien did come back for third place. Didn't quite catch Suzanne Maidment though, she takes second.
Coming up for heat number 5, another 8 swimmers, referee.
Take your marks.
Taking part in heat number 5, Saxon Crown's Catherine Stevens. Portsmouth North Sea's Gail Henry. Potters Bar teammates in 3 and 4, Jonathan Refson, Daniela Harrison. Dover Lifeguards, Tracy Anstis in 5. Bishop Stortford even, Alison Fordham in 6. 8 to swims, Bryn Walters in 7. And in 8, South Downs Trojans, Anthony Coleman. So we're looking to go sub 240 in heat number 5. And we're going to get a split of 117.61, so we're on most definitely. Alison Fordham was leading through 100, but look at this. Lanes 1, 2, 3, 4. Blimey. Stevens, Henry, Refson, Harrison. Looking like a formidable team there, swimming together. Like a pretty exciting last 25 meters when we get there. Get best. Back they come. It is still Fordham. And our pack of 4. And Fordham hold off the 4 of them. Well, hey. And she will be able to do all but 1, because Harrison has come storming through the pack right at the end. Oh, we said 240, look at that, 240.31. Great finish. Fordham in second, Stevens, Henry and Refson.
Heat number 6, 8 swimmers, referee.
Take your marks.
Heat number 6, you're watching Team Luton, Sam Bradley in 1, Spencer in 2 and 3 with Rebecca Pritchard and Laura Kerrigan. Woking in 4 with Barnaby Rudd. Spencer again with Sally Ritchie in 5. Farnham's Ben Bolton Stanley in 6. Elmbridge, Martin Rebery in 7. And Portsmouth North Sea, Jodie Cox in 8. Two up top, it is Sally Ritchie and Jodie Cox. We are looking to go pretty comfortably under 240, might be in the mid 230s. Who is going to get to the wall though? Looking good for Sally Ritchie, just in the last few metres, always on the touch though. Just gets there, my goodness, 11 hundredths of a second. Ritchie over Cox, 2:36.22, your winning time. Let's not forget Martin Rebery, Laura Kerrigan and Sam Bradley, your top 5 swimmers. Ben Bolton Stanley finishing off.
This will be heat number 7, 8 swimmers, referee.
Take your marks.
Heat 7. David Cargill is in 1 for Crawley. Adam Lellian in 2 for Dis Otters. Nuala Muir-Cochrane is in lane 3 representing Poole. Laura Cook in 4 for Bracknell. Nick Roosh for Farnham in 5. Chris Dunn for Spencer in 6. Gary Beetroff for Andover in 7. And Paul Doherty for Havant and Waterlooville in lane number 8. Now, this is what we were expecting, the heats to get a lot closer. We're over halfway now, and you're probably, unless somebody absolutely guns it out there, you're not going to see a huge split from 1st to 8th anymore. I mean, there's always caveats, but the likelihood is these will get closer and closer, which means you need to be better and better. So we've had some 2:36s. Still 4 or 5 swimmers in this for the heat to win. Of course, they can all be winning their own individual class and age group titles. But as a straight race as we watch it, it's Laura Cook and Nick Roosh down the middle, but Laura Cook having the better final 25 come tearing through the water into the wall. And that is a lovely swim. And another 2:36 in the 200 free. Nick Rouge 2:37 and 2:38 Adam Lelian.
This will be heat number 8 with 8 swimmers hopefully. Referee.
Take your marks.
Right, we might get a few little cheers here because the first 4 are all in the same team. In lane 1 for South Downs Trojans, Steph Barron. In 2 for South Downs Trojans, Tom Parry. In 3 for South Downs Trojans, Sorrel Kenny. And in 4 for South Downs Trojans, Ellen Jewell. And the rest in 5 for Bicester, Francis Varney. In 6 for Royal Tunbridge Wells, Liz Price. In 7 for South Bedfordshire, Carla King. Excellent. And in 8 for Wickham District, David Wood. Oh, well done. Well done to you all. Right, where are we in the actual race? Let's have a look. 100 metres. Ellen Jewell will lead. Just an observation there. Great turn from Carla King in Southern. I think she went from 4th to 2nd there in about 2 metres. And this could be, I mean, we're 75 metres away from the finish line. But if Sorrel Kenny can just pull back a metre, could have a 5-way finish here. Look at those split times, so close they are. 1:50.79 for Jewell. Only a few tenths separating your top 5. Brilliant finish coming up. Francis Varney for Bicester and Ellen Jewell, South Downs Trojans. They'll take it all the way. Just falling to the left and to the right, Sorrel Kenny and Liz Price. And here comes Francis Varney. Saved his best to last. Well done, sir. 2:27.75. Look at all these times. 3 times sub 2:30. That's a lovely barrier to break. Ellen Jewell and Sorrel Kenny doing exactly that.
Heat number 9 coming up. Referee.
Heat 9 of 13 from lane 1. Home swimmer, Crawley's Nigel MacDonald. GB Police, Grace Cordeaux in 2. Epsom District, Neil Morgan in 3. Basildon and Phoenix, Kieran Neal in 4. Mid-Sussex Marlins, Ernesto Penicia in 5. Lucy Besant for Dover Lifeguards in 6. Her teammate Derek Hutton is in 7. And Atlantis, Sarah Pritchard is in lane number 8. Derek Hutton, 146 coming home. Going to be followed by Sarah Pritchard and Lucy Besant. So all happening on this near side, right in front of the gallery. That's where we like it to be. Kieran Neal in 4, the bright orange swim cap of Basildon and Phoenix. Make it a little race for second and third in the heat, but nobody will take the win away from Derek Hutton. 2:22.99. Very nice indeed for Dover Lifeguards. Sarah Pritchard takes second for Atlantis, and Kieran Neal did come through to nab third place, going sub 2:30.
Heat number 10, 8 more swimmers, referee.
Take your marks.
We have hit double figures. Taking part from lane 1 at GB Police, Tom Allen. In 2, out to swims, Miles Hanlon. Gloucester's Vicky Payne in 3. Otter's Catherine Dumont in 4. Spencer's Carl Simpson in 5. Greenwich Royal Sam French in 6. Medway Maritime's Guy Armstrong in 7. And Trafford Metro Helen Sadler is in 8. Look at this, a halfway. This could be a 50-metre freestyle finish. Well, Guy Armstrong is the only one that's really made a move of this entire field. And he's looking pretty strong last 25. He won't get caught now, very unlikely. The race for second, though, it could be any one of 6, quite frankly. Here's Carl Simpson, just making a slight move in the last 10. Your winner, 2:22.13, Guy Armstrong. It was Carl Simpson. And then the race to the line for third place, Miles Hanlon. Got there by about 0.15 of a second in the end.
Heat number 11 on the way, referee.
Take your marks.
Can we go sub 220 in heat 11? Going for it. Frederica Noera, Borough of Newham. Laura Hibbard of Hillingdon. Russell Clash, Basingstoke. Nicola Charlesworth, Basingstoke. Ralph Pinnell, Borough of Newham. Sam Watts, Norfolk Vikings. Jenny Clark representing Woking. And Chris Smith for Teddington. Once again, very little to separate the top five. In fact, everyone in the top five separated by 0.44 of a second. In lane 2, Laura Hibbard is trying her darndest to get into that front 5 and call it a 6. She needed a good turn and a little bit of nitro. But these 5, well, let's enjoy this last 30 metres. In the green cap in 6, Sam Watts. Norfolk Viking. Looking to pull away in the very last moments. On the time, can they go sub 220? Going to be very, very close, might be just outside. Oh, crikey, look at that. 220.97 for Sam Watts. Takes it by 14 hundredths of a second over Jenny Clark, then Chris Smith.
Heat number 12, penultimate race of the 200 free. Referee.
Take your marks.
Craig Simmons for Dover Lifeguards in 1. Millie Emmons, Basingstoke in 2. Hope Pace, Medway Maritime in 3. Barnet Copthorns, Mark Reynolds in 4. Brighton Dolphins, Paul Allen in 5. Woking's Simon Scully in 6. Bister's Andrew Smith in 7. And Cork Masters, Gavin O'Brien is in 8. Well, this is nice and symmetrical, isn't it? 2 in the middle, 2 on the outside on the left, 2 on the outside on the right. And it's the pair in lanes 7 and 8 that are going to lead the way. Smith and O'Brien. Then the pair in the middle. Mark Reynolds leads that little duo. Simmons and Emmons just 0.4 of a second apart. So I didn't know this was a pairs competition, but it seems that way right now. Is Andrew Smith just sneaking away from Gavin O'Brien. And it will be a heat win in our penultimate heat of our first event in this session. By 0.5 of a second in the end, Smith over O'Brien, and Martin Reynolds win the race for the rest of the places.
Heat 13, final heat of the 200 freestyle. Referee.
Take your marks.
And our last competitors in this event, Daniel Cotton in 1 for Spencer, Liam Small in 2 for Poole, Lawrence Gilfrin for Rushmore Royals in 3, Alexander Mackey for Otters in 4, Henry Goodlad representing Woking in 5, Matt Brecken for Crawley in 6, Craig Bransby for Enfield in 7, and Woking's Charlotte Farminer is in 8. Well, we can see very clearly where the race for the heat win is in this one. Mackey and Goodlad, and they could go very close towards 2 minutes here. I just missed the split time. It was looking around about the 103s-ish. And that's just going off the last swimmer coming through. In fact, maybe a lot quicker than that. They're going to get very close to 2 minutes here. Right, they're neck and neck. What a great race between Alexander Mackey and Henry Goodlad. Nothing to separate them in distance, and less than half a metre, literally side by side against the lane rope as well. Who's going to pull through in the final 5? Looks like Henry Goodlad on the wall though. Who gets the touch? He does. Oh, 2 minutes and 63 hundredths. And 2 minutes 0.9. Felt like they both deserve to win that one. Matthew Brecken comes home third ahead of Craig Bransby and Daniel Cotton. What a great way to end the 200 metres.
Clear the pool by the sides, please. Out by the sides.
So event number 8 coming up. It's the mixed 200 metres individual medley. Just got 9 heats of this. In heat 1, swimmers in lanes 3, 4 and 5. Here we have heat number 1, 3 swimmers, referee.
take your marks.
Right, let's get up to speed with event 8, the mixed 200 IM. As Ian's told you, 9 heats in this one. And in heat number 1, lane 3, Shauna King for Royal Tunbridge Wells. Chris Jessup in 4 for Salisbury. And in 5, Peter Vida representing Otter. Running through the schedule with you at the conclusion of this event, which we've just started, plenty to go. We do have, coming up though, event 9, the open male 100 back. Then we have the female 100 back. Then we move into the 100 butterfly, open male followed by female. And to close out the day, the events just get shorter and shorter. We then go 50 breaststroke, open male and female. I believe our anticipated finish time around about 4:45-ish. All running smoothly right now, touch wood. Again, we have no entry times available, which is usually a good source of information, even though you do take them with a massive pinch of salt. Final 50 meters for Peter Vida. And into the wall, our first heat winner in the mixed 200 IM, Viva La Vida, 4:22.96. In 3, Shauna King, the Royal Tunbridge Wells swimmer. And she'll touch home 4:43. And then we will welcome Chris Jessup, 78 years young for Salisbury. just under 5 minutes, with
Hold the
not a
lane
lot
ropes,
to
please.
spare.
Heat number 2 looks like 7 swimmers in lanes 1 to 7. Referee.
Take your marks.
Heat 2, Brian Hunt for Royal Tunbridge Wells in 1. Alison Quinn for Mid Sussex Marlins in 2. Jemima Rudd-Jones for Royal Tunbridge Wells in 3. Christine Ayers, South Bedfordshire in 4. Stuart McClellan for Hadley in 5. Chichester's Paul Bruce in 6. And Aylesbury's Deryn Creasy in 7. Jemima Rudd-Jones, multiple international medalist in Down syndrome, the Royal Tunbridge Wells swimmer. 28 years old, youngest in the pool as well in heat number 2. Already seen her today, swimming earlier on this morning. In fact, you can say that about most of our swimmers now, on their second, if not third or fourth events. And we'll likely see them again before the day is concluded too. And Brian Hunt will lead at the halfway mark. A good backstroke. What's his breaststroke like? We'll find out now. And is it better than Paul Bruce, or can he chase him down? Towards the final 50, and Brian Hunt's breaststroke was not as good as Paul Bruce's, or Deryn Creasy's for that matter. And it's Creasy, the Aylesbury swimmer, who is going to lead this one home on the freestyle. Do love a medley. Every event, even like the relay medleys, are an absolute thrill, and events where we get those. But Paul Bruce on the freestyle is going to bring this one back. He's been in third, first and second now in this race. And he just wants to finish this one with a number 1 next to his name. Deryn Creasy, brilliant breaststroke, just missing out on the freestyle. Of course, for a heat win, can still be an age group and gender category winner, all to be confirmed once all our races are run. Stuart McLennan, 3:31.33. They are your top 3. Brian Hunt just dropping to 5th in the second 100. Great start though. Alison Quinn and Jemima Rudd-Jones, our international athletes, will close out heat number 2 for us.
Here we come to heat number 3, 8 swimmers, referee.
Take your marks.
In the pool, you have Philip Collins for Out to Swim, Marianne Rockolden for Croydon Amphibians, William Roberts for Peterborough SPG, Jennifer Johnston representing Lewis, Amy McLucas for Farnham, William Reed for Teddington, Keith Parkin, Barnett Copthorne, and Natalia Gaidarenko for Sevenoaks. Well, we've seen this before. Swimmers go off very well in the butterfly and the backstroke. Does Gaidarenko have an equally impressive breaststroke? Let's find out. Looking pretty good so far. However, on the opposite outside lane, Philip Collins, one of our many out to swim athletes here today, has pulled back a little bit of that time, and he'll be keen to get onto the freestyle and give it a real go. But the difference is going to be, oh, will it be too much? It's 7 seconds. Surely it's too much. So Natalia Gaidarenko for Sevenoaks, 38 years old this year. He's going to take this one from start to finish. A very composed swim throughout the entire 200s. No stroke letting her down whatsoever. Time is going to be not far off 3:10. 3:10.79. Then Philip Collins, solid second place, 3:17.97. Then we jump to the middle. 3:23 for Jenny Johnson.
Heat number 4, 8 swimmers, referee.
Stand down, please. Take your marks.
From lane 1, Gloucester's Sandra Jane Jones. Wantage's Lindsay Kellyone in 2. Spencer's Karen Bassett in 3. South Downs Trojans Michelle Beckwith in 4. Farnham's in 5 and 6, Janine Brooks and Andrea Coombs. Hackney's James Richins in 7. And Wycombe District's Sam Usher is in lane number 8. Leading the way, Andrea Coombs just ahead of Usher. 1 second between your top 2. A couple more back to Brooks. Over to Lindsay Kellyone, Karen Bassett, Sandra Jane Jones. Now this is the type of race where right now, literally anyone can still win this. If you've got a great breaststroke and a solid freestyle, you literally can make up 10 meters in the space of 100. Seen it done so many times. Sam Usher looking great though in lane 8. Closest competitors, Andrea Coombs in 6, Janine Brooks in 5, and Karen, who's in 2, Lindsay Kellyone. Back she comes though, Sam Usher, 2:24.50 to swim. She can't get caught, surely. And the only people in her age category, not a competitor in terms of time in this heat. And just keep your eye here on Janine Brooks in 5 as a brilliant freestyle for the Farnham swimmer. She's not quite going to catch Sam Usher, 3:08.17, but she got close, 3:10.5. Best of the rest, Andrea Coombs, her teammate.
Heat number 5 should have 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
Heat 5 from 1, Basildon and Phoenix, Katrina Farrell. In 2, Atlantis, Becky Owen. In 3, Guernsey's Esther Isepi. Spencer in 4 with Chris Dunn. Dover Lifeguards in 5, Donna Wickens. Spencer again, Amanda Heath this time in 6. Royal Tunbridge Wells, Liz Price in 7. And South Downs Trojans, Claire Tagg in 8. Heat 5 of 9. Basildon and Phoenix will lead at the halfway mark. Katrina Farrell, 1:26.43. Only one other swimmer goes sub 1:30. Liz Price, the Royal Tunbridge Wells, has clearly got a very good breaststroke. Pulled all that distance back. Well, it was a few seconds on Katrina Farrell, and she's moved that into a several second advantage. That is a massive turnaround. Wow. 6 second advantage from a deficit. That's pretty special. And no doubt that she will take the win in heat number 5. It's all about the clock time now. Competitors in more heats behind her, those to come. But setting a benchmark, these early heats are all about. A time for those in your age group to beat. And she'll be our first swimmer to go sub 3 minutes. Does it by a mile. 2:55.33. Great swim, Liz Price. Also a great freestyle from Amanda Heath, 3:05.73. Early leader, Katrina Farrell, third place, 3:10.5 seconds.
Heat number 6, 8 swimmers, referee.
Take your marks.
Heat number 6. Adam Lillian for Diss Otters. Lucy Young for Teddington. David Wood, Wickham District. Alan Parkins for home team Crawley. Matthew Wiltshire out to swim. For South Downs Trojans, Philip Disley. Lewis is Sarah Nisbet in Southern. And Trafford, Rob Arnold is in 8. Home swimmer leads halfway. And that is the quickest split time, or close to, 1:25.25 for Parkins. Rob Arnold currently second, Lucy Young third. It can all change though. Well, we said it can change, and it has. Halfway leader Parkins drops to third place after the breaststroke. Nisbet and Arnold take advantage. Can he bring it back on the freestyle? Can Lucy Young break into the top 3? Rob Arnold looking pretty good for Trafford Metropolitan. On the outside in 8, saved his best until last. Alan Parkins will come back one place to take second. 2:57 versus a 2:58. And Sarah Misbit just half a second outside 3 minutes. Great competition, these individual medleys. Absolutely love them.
Heat number 7 coming up. Another 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
Of our 22 200-metre races, this is Heat 20. In it we have Gemma Spencer for Woking, Joe Corbin for South Downs Trojans, Stuart Morton, Epsom District, Paul Smoothie for Guildford City, Joshua Cox representing Rochford, Richard Gardner for Royal Tunbridge Wells, Simon Griffiths for Teddington, and James McTavish, City of Southampton. Now let's just keep a track record here of who's leading and who's doing what, and see if anybody can lead at the halfway stage and go on to win one of these medleys. Only seen it done twice so far in the opening 6 heats. So Simon Griffith, your leader, Joe Corbin in second, and James McTavish, they were your top 3. Simon Griffiths, can he be the 3rd man to lead from start to finish? He has got a good breaststroke, so important, such a key leg. And I've just got a feeling he might have a good freestyle as well. Back he comes, 2:02.32. This is going to be a great time. James McTavish in second, Joe Corbin down to 4th. Joshua Cox promotes himself to 3rd place. And Simon Griffiths will do this. Representing Teddington. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely brilliant. In 8, James McTavish. 4.5 seconds back. And Joshua Cox, Joe Corbin, Paul Smoothie, Richard Gardner. They all come flying in. Every single one of them well under 3 minutes. Great heat.
Heat number 8, penultimate race of the 200 IM. Referee.
Take your marks.
you are watching, you're going to recognise all of these names now. They're just repeating over and over again. In lane 1, Farnham's Nick Roosh. In 2, Epsom District's Andrew Burbidge. In 3, South Bedfordshire, Emma Joyce. In 4, Mid Sussex, Thomas Wade. Dover Lifeguards, Craig Simmons in 5. Otters, Joshua Patel in 6. Woking's Charlotte Farmaner in 7. And Trafford Metropolitan's Chris Malpass is in lane number 8. Chris Malpass leading on the inside. Light blue cap in 4, Tom Wade. That is the blue cap of Mid Sussex. A freestyle battle between these two. Can Craig Simons get involved? Looks keen to. Very different strokes on these two guys in 4 and 5. Craig Simons really chopping down with that left hand. Big high arch. And if you compare that to Malpass in 8, a much smoother, more consistent, symmetrical stroke in both his arms. 2:35.24 are good enough to take it. And 0.02 of a second separating Simons and Wade, both in the 2:37s. Next home, Joshua Patel, and then Farmaner. Very enjoyable once again. One more heat to come in this event.
Heat number 9 should be the final race of this, I am. Referee.
Take your marks.
Last chance saloon to be a champion in the 200 IM. Going for it, our Arizona master, Patrick Brundage. In 2, Crawley's Goncalo Amaral Pinto. Out to swims, Augustus Visi in lane 3. Otters, Alex Mackey in 4. Portsmouth North Sea's Chris Jones in 5. Bracknell's Hugh Jones in 6. Medway Maritimes, Louise Fidders in 7. And in lane 8, Wilden Waves, Alistair Garmendia. That is another team that I've not heard of before. That's quite rare. Let's have a little quick Google. Wilden Waves, or Wilden Waves, an amateur competitive swimming club based in Hedge End near Southampton in Hampshire. And now you know. I like that name, that's cool. Well, things have split, haven't they? My goodness. This feels like a Heat 1 or a Heat 2. Is that due to some outstanding performances right at the front? It might be. Augustus Visi, Alexander Mackey and Chris Jones. Can a 2-man race become a 3-man? Let's wait and see. Alex Mackey, though, looking the strongest of that trio. Looking absolutely wonderful, in fact, pulling away and showing no signs of slowing down into the final 10 metres. It will be the 32-year-old Otter swimmer Alex Mackey. It's a 2:18.05. Superb. 2:22 for VC, 2:23 for Jones. First three home. Then Giancarlo Amaral Pinto for Crawley. That is event finished. On to the next one.
So if you're in the water, mind your heads. Might be the odd backstroke.
Clear the pool by the sides, please. Swimmers out by the sides. Thank you.
Event 9 is the 100 metres backstroke. We've got 3 heats for the gentlemen. Here we have heat number 1 of the men's 100 backstroke. Swimmers in lanes 1 to 7. Referee.
Take your marks.
Right then, 100 backstroke. 3 for the open men and 5 for the women. Up first, Graham Ling for Hythe, Paul Webster, Medway Maritime, Chris Jessup for Salisbury, Paul Sims for Barnes, Steve Greenfield representing Basingstoke, Larry Chan for Mid Sussex, and Sam Bradley for Team Luton. And just like that, heat 1 is done. And that's a nice time, 1:22.5, Steve Greenfield. the Backstroke swimmer, followed by Sam Bradley, 4 seconds further back, and Larry Chan, another 5. So the front 3 are well out ahead of this field. Paul Sims next home. Just needs to press that timing pad a bit harder, Paul. Then our final trio, Paul Webster, Chris Jessup and Gordon Ling. Oh, there's Paul Sims' times, 1:46.19.
Clear the pool by the sides, please, out by the sides.
Thank you, swimmers. Clear to the sides, please. This will be heat number 2. Referee.
Take your marks.
Off we go. Brian Hunt, Royal Tunbridge Wells. Chris Dunn for Spencer. Anthony Corbin for South Downs Trojans. Phil Outwood for Godalming. Neil Morgan for Epsom District. Simon Horler, Royal Tunbridge Wells. Guy Emerson for Amersham. And Mariusz Barczykowski for Medway Maritime. And just like that, already on their way back, Guy Emerson and Mariusz Barczykowski. They've left the field in their waves. And could we potentially see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in reverse order of the lanes? I might never have seen that before, but we're on for it, you know. That would be bizarre. First 3, first 4 are definitely going to be that order. Blimey. 1:16.98, great time. There's your 3. Oh, no. Neil Morgan is going to come in 4th. And unfortunately, Anthony Corbin is just going to break it up for us. Nearly got there.
Clear the pool, please, out by the...
Well done
Thank
to
you.
all. Particularly Barczykowski.
Thank you, swimmers. Clear to the side, please. Heat 3, I believe the final heat, the men's 100 backstroke. Referee.
Take your marks.
Wow, third and final heat already in our 100 back for the men. Andrew Burbidge, Adam Harper, Wade Rimback, Martin Schofield, Aidan Dunn, Andrew Squires, Richard Gardner and Anthony Clark. And in 5, it is Aidan Dunn, the Camden Swiss Cottage swimmer, 38 years old. And he will take the rest of the pool to task here. It's a 1:08.55. Great swim, wonderful time. Wade Rimback, the otter, in 3, second position ahead of Adam Harper.
Clear the pool by the sides, thank you.
And that concludes the open male 100 back.
So this is event number 10. It's the women's 100 metres backstroke. We've got 5 heats. Heat 1 looks like we've got 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
So 3 done for the men, 5 now for the women. Up first, Jane Asher for King's Cormorant, Susan Dewar, Haventon Waterlooville, Sally Lillian for Dis Otters, Shauna King, Royal Tunbridge Wells, Shelley Robinson for Selwyn Oaks, Elaine Blower for Barnet Copthorne, Holly Bocking for Colchester, and Erwin Fiona for Woking. All the action in the leading places taking place on this near side. Erwin Fiona, Holly Bocking, Laura Key and Sam Petter. And it will be Fiona that takes it for Woking. What's her time? It is a 1:52.97. Elaine Blower and Shelley Robinson. In fact, Holly Bocking, of course, third place. All four of those women sub 2 minutes. Jane Asher with a 2:15. And Susan Dewar and Shauna King will close out the heat. Separated by a tenth of a second.
Clear the pole by the sides, please. Out by the sides. Thank you.
Heat number 2 should have 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
Well, quick start there for Caris Clark in Southern. My goodness. Let's go through the field. We've got Christine Goodare for King's Cormorant, Caitlin Hatfield for Winchester, and Gail for Mid Sussex. Pauline Hogg, Haventon Waterlooville, Sam Petter for Tonbridge, Laura Key for Hastings, Caris Clark, who went off like a shot for Hillingdon, and she did so with Alex Smith followed closely behind for Epsom District. So this one is, in heat terms, a 2-woman race. Of course, only 5 heats in this event. There's going to be a lot of winners. And the time is going to be a tough one to beat for the next couple of heats. Of course, those in an age group know what they need to beat when they set these benchmarks. 1:22.77 for Caris Clark. 1:25 Alex Smith. Have to wait 7 or 8 seconds for the rest of the field to come in now. Let's have a little look here. Going to be Laura Key in 6. 1:38, 1:39 Pauline Hogg. But Caris Clark setting that bar extremely high. 1:22.77.
Clear the pole by the sides, please. Swimmers out by the sides. Thank you.
Thank you, swimmers. Clear the water to the sides, please. Should be heat number 3 coming up. Another 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
From lane 1, Sarah Davidson, Mid-Sussex. Amanda Goodman, Basildon and Phoenix. Linda Coggins for Woking. Deborah Startin, Dover Lifeguard Club. Helen Kula-Przwanski for Devonport. Elaine Zhang for Borough of Newham. Amy McLucas for Farnham, and her teammate Andrea Coombs is next door in lane number 8. Now this is much more competitive, isn't it? Heat number 3, look at this. Deborah starting well. And she will be at the head of the spear, the pyramids. Call it what you like, but she leads the pool as they fan out from left to right. Just Andrea Coombs in 8. And now coming through in 2, Amanda Goodman. Disrupting that pattern, and they all line up behind your leader. But Deborah starting with a win, 1:23.97. Very good race, that one.
Clear the pool by the sides, please, out by the sides.
This will be heat number 4. We've only got 5 heats in total. Heat 4, referee.
Take your marks.
So, as Ian said, our penultimate heat already. You're watching Karen McKenzie for Team Luton, Sarah Fitzgerald-Smith for Reading, Alison Fordham, Bishop Stortford, Lucy Besant, Dover Lifeguard Club, Eva Plato-Luna for Borough of Newham, Jenny Clark for Woking, Emily Quick for South Downs Trojans, and Dawn Palmer for Basildon and Phoenix. And already coming back, looking fantastic. Jenny Clark in lane number 6, representing Woking. And a big old stretch towards the wall as well, 1:14.59. Dawn Palmer for Basildon and Phoenix in 2nd, and Emily Quick
Clear the
3rd.
pool by the sides, please, out by the sides.
So all the action in lane 6, 7 and 8. Jenny Clark on top.
This is heat number 5, the final race of the women's 100 backstroke. Referee.
Take your marks.
Last chance to win a medal in the 100-metre backstroke. Going for it, Ellen Jewell, South Downs Trojans. Helen Cumber, Spencer. Charlotte Farmaner for Woking. Hope Pace for Medway Maritime. Jo Corbin, South Downs Trojans. Megan McDonough for Otters. Laura Hibbard for Hillingdon. And Nicola Charlesworth for Basingstoke. In fact, forgive me, that'll teach me to look up because there was no lanes 3 and 4. It is late in the day, getting tired, maybe saving yourself for a more competitive event. And being competitive in the 100 back, Jo Corbin, 1:11.92 for the Trojans. And Nicola Charlesworth for Basingstoke.
Clear the pool, please. Out by the
Cumber
side. Thank you.
for Spencer.
This should be, pardon me, this should be event number 11. And it's the men's 100 metres butterfly, open men's butterfly. 4 heats. Heat 1, swimmers look to be in lanes 2 to 7. Referee.
Take your marks.
This is our penultimate event for the open male and female competition. Nice way to end it, isn't it? Nice easy one. Taking part heat 1, you've got Paul Reynolds for Faversham, Karsten Holstein, Aylesbury, Derek Parr for Broomfield, Lyndon Williams for Bexley Masters, Paul Bruce for Chichester, and Paul Doherty for Havant and Waterlooville. Lyndon Williams will lead the field. In fact, as I was saying that, Paul Doherty makes a charge in the final 25 metres, and he'll win this by a couple of body lengths in the end. Well, he found some energy there, didn't he? 1:24.39 for Paul Doherty. 37-year-old from Haventon, Waterlooville. Well done, Paul. Then Lyndon Williams, then Paul Bruce. Derek Parr ahead of Karsten Holstein. And Paul Reynolds will end this one for us.
Heat number 2 coming up, maybe eight swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
Now we'll start by saying a big well done. Heat number 1, Derek Parr, 80-year-old from Broomfield, 1:35.10, new British record. Well done, Derek. Beat the British record by 5 seconds in the 80 to 85 category. Well done, sir. Right, Heat 2, Rob Arnold for Trafford Metro, Tom Wade for Mid Sussex, Carl Simpson for Spencer, Aidan Dunn for Camden Swiss Cottage, Simon Haller, Royal Tunbridge Wells, Simon Griffiths for Teddington, Charles Wilson for Wickham District, and Chris Smith for Teddington. Here they come then. Just about time to say the names now. Wait until the 50 metres gets very difficult indeed. And a trio of men will go into the wall. The touch will be with Simon Griffiths, 1:12.61 before Charles Wilson and Aidan Dunn. That is what we like to see.
Yeah, coming up is heat number 3, penultimate race of the men's butterfly. Referee.
Take your marks.
You are watching Toby Bowdler for Greenwich Royals, Clive Benson for Hart, Martin Schofield for Crawley, Patrick Brundage for Arizona Masters, Joe Kirkpatrick for Bracknell, Alistair Garmendia, Wilden Waves, Gavin O'Brien, Cork Masters, and Matt Nash for the City of Southampton. And once again, this will be pretty close. All 4 lanes on the near side. That's Kirkpatrick, Garmedia, O'Brien and Nash. Not much to break these apart. On the visual, Kirkpatrick inches ahead, but it all comes down to the touch here. Who will get it? Oh, it is on the touch because Garmedia takes it. 1:08.09, and that was all on the dive for the line. Joe Kirkpatrick and Gavin O'Brien. And in fact, it was Clive Benson that came home 4th.
Go, Charlie!
We have the final heat of the men's 100 butterfly. Referee.
Take your marks.
And already heat number 4, Liam Small for Poole, Giancarlo Amaral Pinto for Crawley, Fraser Pay for Otter, Charles Messenger representing Hackney, John Cunningham for Potters Bar, Martinez Marks for Crawley, Tom Williams, City of Southampton, and Chris Malbass for Trafford Metropolitan. Down the middle this time, and Charles Messenger, 28-year-old, representing Hackney, going to get pushed to the line by Fraser Pay, the Otter, but he will take the win and comfortably 1 minute, .72. Just wait to get that time for Fraser Pay. He was in second position. John Cunningham in third, 103.72. There he is. Fraser Pay's time, 103.36. Messenger, what a way to finish.
Coming up, event number 12, beg their pardon. It's the ladies on the 100 fly. Just 2 heats. Swimmers in lanes 1 to 7 for heat number 1. Referee.
Take your marks.
So 7 on the paperwork, 6 in the pool. We do have Carolyn Ellis, Dover Lifeguards, Jemima Rudd-Jones, Royal Tunbridge Wells, Heather Fowler for Aylesbury, Janine Brooks for Farnham. Then we jump to Amanda Heath for Spencer and Helen Kuna-Przwanski for Devonport. Well, look at this. We've got 2 races of 3 swimmers here, really, haven't we? In 4, 6 and 7, and then 1, 2 and 3. And interestingly, the 3 leaders are the 3 older swimmers in the pool as well. There you go. Age is but a number. All 3 of our leaders, 60 and over, in the lanes 1, 2 and 3, under that mark. Wow. Who will win? All in pink. In lane 6, looks like Amanda Heath, but we've seen some big dives for the line, but she will take it in the GB cap, 130.24, and that is a heat win. And Amanda Heath, 130.24. We've got another British record by 2/10 for our heat winner, Amanda Heath. Congratulations. And a big smile rightly on her face there in lane 6. Well done indeed. And Jemima Rudd-Jones and Carolyn Ellis will close out sub 2 minutes. Second British record of the session.
It's heat number 2, final race of the women's 100 fly. Referee.
Take your marks.
Heat 2 of just 2. This is it. Not many dare to take on the 100-metre fly deep on a Saturday afternoon. But those that do are Michelle Laverick for Hart, Sarah Nisbet for Lewis, Ciara Redman for Dover Lifeguards, Georgina Hain for Woking, Bethany Collins representing Hailsham, April Richards for Potters Bar, Danielle Ryan, Medway Maritime, and in 8, Donna Wickens. Again, Dover Lifeguard Club. Now look at this. Here comes Georgina Hain, 40-year-old for Woking. This looks incredibly fast, you know. I very much doubt Southern are having a bad day. It looks like she's having a very good day. Let's just double check the record books here. We might get another one, 2 in a row. And she'll just miss out on that record, but it's a great swim, a sub 110 for Georgina Hain. Bethany Collins, a 114, wonderful time for her. And then the rest of the field join us. Ciara Redman, April Richards. Do you know what? Anybody doing the 100-metre butterfly, hats off. regardless of
Clear
time.
the pool by the sides, please. Swimmers out by the sides. Thank you.
And now we cast our gaze to the opposite end of the pool.
So we've got 15 more races to run this afternoon. Event 13 and 14 are the men's open and the women's 50 metres breaststroke. 8 heats of the boys and 7 heats of the women. And looks like heat 1 is already displayed on the board. Obviously just retest the start system, make sure everything's well, and then we'll be underway. Well done everyone. Don't forget tomorrow's competition. Warm up slightly different. We've got a 10:05 start, so you've got an extra half an hour. But I understand there is another event of some sort in the centre tomorrow, so don't leave it too late to get here. I'm not sure whether it's another cheerleading jobby, but it was busy in the car park today if you weren't here first thing. There's a slight difference in the, apart from the times. The registration cut-off time tomorrow morning is 9:20, but the women's 50 and over are the first team in to warm up tomorrow morning, 9 to 9:15. Men's 50 and over is 9:15 to 9:30. Under 50s women 9:30 to 9:45, and the men's under 50 9:45 to 10. Once again, just remind swimmers for tomorrow morning, make sure you do check in. So swimmers, clasp your earlobes or anywhere else you might have a piercing. And if you've got anything missing, you might want to come and see us in the announcers table. Up in the spectator gallery, right next to lane number 8. If you are missing an earring, come and see us. We won't throw it away just yet. We missed a record a bit earlier in the 100 backstroke. My apologies to Alison Fordham from Bishop Stortford. 1:23.08. A very comfortable new British record for her. So well done, Alison. 1:23.08. 65 to 69 age group, 100 backstroke.
The test start.
And here we do have heat number 1 of the men's breaststroke. Swimmers in 3, 4 and 5. Referee.
Take your marks.
Okay, 3 competitors in our opening heats. Paul Webster for Medway Maritime, James Nagett, Camden Swiss Cottage, and Stuart McLennan representing Hadley. 8 heats for the men and 7 heats for the women. And none of them will take any longer than 45 seconds to a minute, really. James Negotz would be our first winner of the event, the Camden Swiss Cottage competitor. A time of 44.11, Stuart McLennan 50.55, and Paul Webster 54.43. All of them setting targets in their respective age groups.
Heat number 2. Looks like 6 swimmers, 2 to 7. Referee.
Take your marks.
You are watching Paul Bruce for Chichester, Aaron Dickies for Barnes, William Roberts, Peterborough SPG, Chris Dunn for Spencer, David Proctor representing Leatherhead, and Roger Startin for Dover Lifeguards. Two men lead the way. Without the swim cap in 5, sorry, that is Chris Dunn. And in 3 with Aaron Dickies. It's Dickies that takes it 45.40 against a 45.78. Best of the rest, David Proctor, 46.96.
Thank you, swimmers. Clear to the side, please. Heat number 3 should be a full bank of 8 swimmers. Referee.
This time, Mid-Sussex, Darren Mill, then Keith Barkin, Chris Orchard, Rob Arnold, Larry Chan, Malcolm Rayner, David Norwood and Phil Atwood. And well, I'm trying to pick a winner here out of lanes 1, 4, 5 and 6. That's Mill, Arnold, Chan and Rayner. I'm not going to be able to do it because they are going to touch. This is so close. 0.06 of a second between Rayner and Arnold, the former taking it. Larry Chan just a few tenths behind as well. That looks even closer than that on the wall.
Heat number 4, another 8 swimmers. Referee.
Russell Simpson, Philip Collins, Matt Walcher, Aidan Dunn, Edward Dunn, James McTavish, Michael Litke and Chris Keithner. And Aidan Dunn at Camden Swiss Cottage, 38-year-old. And he will win that. In 50-metre terms, he's won that by a mile. 37.35 for Aidan Dunn. Edward Dunn, his namesake, in second. just over a second back. And Chris Keithner in third.
Thank you, swimmers. Clear the waters to the side, please. Heat number 5 coming up. Referee.
Heat 5, you got John Turner, Anthony Clark, Paul Smoothie, Daniel Codman, Phil Southworth, Alan Parkins, Francis Varney and Mike Prime. Sneaking away in Southern, Francis Varney, having a good time on his own, it seems, in one. That's our John Turner, and that will be the order of our first two before Mike Price rounds it out in 3. Francis Varney, 37.15.
Thank you, swimmers. Clear the water to the sides, please. Heat number 6 coming up. Referee.
From lane 1, Ian Pilcher, David Pirrie, Jonathan Refson, Ben Thrower, Nigel McDonald, Mark Wortham, Goncalo Amaral Pinto and Tom Williams. And this one a bit more difficult to separate, but chucking it into full throttle right in the last 10 metres in Southern. That is the home swimmer Goncalo Amaral Pinto. 35.2, great time, top swim, Ben Thrower and Tom Williams second and third.
Thank you, swimmers. Clear the water to the sides, please. Otherwise, you could won't want to be DQ'd for fouling the incoming bodies. Heat 7. 8 swimmers, referee.
From lane 1, Keith Goggin, Alistair Garmendia, Ryan Ruby, Daniel Luslinda, Morgan Smith, Joshua Patel, Mariusz Barczewski and Martinus Marks. And this one, well, nobody pushing forward. In 4, Luslinda just in the last few metres. What a finish, 33.94. Martinus Marks in second, and then Morgan Smith. Brilliant finish to that one by Luslinda.
Well done, swimmers. Clear the waters to the side, please. One more heat for the men. Here is heat number 8, final race of the men's breaststroke. Referee.
Last race of the men's competition. Duterte, Bowler, Boscat, Redman, Jones, Messenger, Kivardi and Sean. And this will again go right down to the wire. But Neil Redmond, 30.28, fastest time of the event, and a worthy winner. Cam Bosket in second, just 4/10 back, and then Will Bowler, 31.18.
Thank you, swimmers. Clear the water at the sides, please. Last event of today's program is event number 14. Women's 50 meters breaststroke, just the 7 heats. 5 swimmers in heat number 1, looks like 2 to 6. Here is heat 1, referee.
Take your marks.
So as we've heard, final event of the day. From lane 2, Susan Dewar, Havant Waterlooville. Rose Dudney for Mid-Sussex Mullins in 3, sorry. Holly Bocking, Colchester in lane 4. Then Amanda Doyle for King's Cormorant is in lane 5. And Shelley Robinson for Sevenoaks is in lane 6. Well, in the yellow cap in 5, that is the King's Cormorant squad team member. However, last couple of strokes in lane 6, Shelley Robinson takes it. 57.62, first 3 home under 60 seconds. That's competitive to the very last couple of meters. And Susan Dewar closes out heat 1, 1:10.
Well done, swimmers. Clear the water at the sides, please. Heat 2, looks like 8 swimmers. Referee.
Up next, Shauna King, Sally Lillian, Pauline Hogg, Diana Groats, Claudine Day, Christine Goodare, Sarah Jones, and Christine Ayers. And there are 8 swimmers and 8 clubs represented too. Royal Tunbridge Wells, Diss Otters, Havant Waterlooville, Aylesbury, Redhill, King's Cormorant, South Downs Trojans, and South Bedfordshire. And it's the latter of those 2 teams that are leading into the timing board. 48.74 for Christine Ayers. Sarah Jones, 49.39. And it actually went 8.76 because Goodare, 51.31.
Heat number 3, should be another 8 swimmers. Referee.
Take your marks.
You are watching from lane 1, Caris Clark, Ajnalka Rosha Rash, Anna Uckerman, Jenny Vick, Diane Ford, Helen Andrews, Caroline Griffin, and Rachel Sully. It's the latter, Sully, 29-year-old from Medway Maritime, who will lead into the final 10 metres. Keep your eye on lane 3, closest challenger, Uckerman, However, the win will belong to Rachel Scully. All the fours in a 44-44. And it was Uckerman ahead of Griffin in second and third.
Unfortunately, from event number 13, that's the men's 50 breaststroke, heat 4, lane 5, a disqualified for a technical infraction. That's the men's 50 breast, heat 4, lane 5, disqualified. This should be heat number 4, referee.
And we are over halfway through our final event then. You're watching Suzanne Maidman, Donna Trotman, Daniela Harrison, Lisa Mills, Linda Sprigg, Kim Tarrant, Fiona Wiggins, and Gail Henry. Once again, eyes cast towards lane number 8. It's Gail Henry this time in 2 and 3. That is Donna Trotman and Daniela Harrison. And in fact, they're going to lead the way into the closing stages. And Daniela Harrison will take a win. Potter's Bar athlete finishes 43-54. Ahead of Donna Trotman, and it was Gail Henry wrapping up third place in the heat.
Should be heat number 5 coming up. Referee.
From lane 1, Tracy Anstis, Lucy Young, Jill Greer, Dell Jenkins, Claire Tagg, Emily Quick, Sam Usher, and Rebecca Pritchard. Now look at this. This is what we like to see on a 50 metres. Who is going to make a move, or will it be down to hundredths of a second here? Just edging in front. Is it Jill Gear? Or will it be Sam Usher? Let's see the time difference. Oh, no, it was Jill Gear, 43.72 against 43.78. Wow. And then Dell Jenkins, all the fours for third place.
Heat number 6 coming up, penultimate race of the day. Referee.
Take your marks.
From lane 1, Karen Jendon, Alice Orton-Rose, Philippa Williams, Alison Fordham, Elaine Sang, Katrina Farrell, Linda Coggins, and Gemma Spencer. In fact, we have no lane 3 Philippa Williams. And once again, it looks super, super close. Elaine Sang looking the more sprightly of those coming into the wall. Or in lane number 1, Karen Jendon takes it from the outside. Who gets it? It is 41-14 over 41-20. Again, these are always heat results. Plenty of age groups involved here too. We just call them as we see them. Katrina Farrell in third place, 41-64. 4/10 separating your top three.
Our final race of the day, heat number 7, referee.
And finally today, Jane Weston, Fionn Thomas, Vicky Payne, Georgina Hayne, Carla King, Rhiannon Elston, Lucy Besant and Kitty Craig. Well, this one is not going to be as tight as the races we've just seen, because Georgina Hayne for Woking, 40-year-old, absolutely storming through the field. And she will win this in 33.59. Fantastic. And that, to end the day, another British record. Well done, Georgina. Oh, if we could write a script to get a record in the final race of the day, that's exactly what we've just done. Now, I'll let Ian bring you up to speed on the timings for tomorrow. Ian, I think that was 4 British records today.
Well, I've got at least 5, maybe 6 British records today. Congratulations, everyone, swimming so well. Lots and lots of event best times as well. And more importantly, just 2 disqualifications. So well done, guys. Keeping within the rules. Couple of unfortunate results for some swimmers, but only 2 of those. I've still got the earring if anybody has lost anything like that.